everybody, Dizzy Crafter here with another sublimation journey video. I don't know if you watched my previous video of the haul, but on that I shared the tumblers that I have got from Shein and that I've not sublimated very well at all. I've ended up returning the ones I hadn't used back to Shein because I gave them a good go at four attempts at different times and stuff, and every single one turned out like this. So I would 100% not recommend Shein, how I pronounce it, for their tumblers. I wasn't the only one that had this issue. After me purchasing them and having this issue, I did go and look at the reviews, and there wasn't that many reviews to be fair, but the ones I did, there was a few people that had said they'd had the exact same issue, and since then they've actually not selling them, or they're not on the website, so I'm guessing they definitely knew there was a problem with them. So just be careful, don't go buying a job lot like I did, because then you're going to have the hassle of returning them all. So I then found this website, and it's actually a UK website, and if you'll catch my haul you'll see what I bought, and one of the items I bought was the 20-ounce tumblers. And they are slightly skinnier, but ever so slightly taller. I don't know if you can see that there. If I take the lid off you'll probably be able to see a bit better. So as you can see, it is ever so slightly taller there, and because of that I have actually had to make a new GIMP template, which I was thinking, because I had to do quite a bit of research to try and figure out how to do this GIMP templates. I'm not very good on the computers, I don't have Adobe or anything, and the ink experts where I purchased my sublimation ink from, their ICC profile was for GIMP, and I think that was the only free photo editing program that they did. So, and since doing on this journey, I know, like, when I've printed using the Cricut Design Space, it's really limited me, and I definitely wouldn't be able to do the sublimation for the tumblers because of the black box, but the quality of the print is not as good as when I print out with GIMP, because I've done tons and tons of trials with that. So I thought, well, let's do this first tumbler together and see, and hopefully, fingers crossed, this one works, because I was bitterly disappointed with these ones, and I'm just hoping these will. And if they do, then you can go and grab yourself a bargain. I shall leave a link in the description box sharing where these have been purchased from, and they don't just do tumblers, they do many other things too. So I'm just going to give this a wipe over with some alcohol. I can see there's like a couple of marks there, and this will evaporate. I just need for that to evaporate before I start putting my print on. This is my print I have done. I've actually got the template from Creative Fabrica, and then I edited it in Canva, and these are like, you can get a lot for free on Creative Fabrica. I don't know if this template would actually be free or not, because I actually subscribe to a yearly subscription for them. And hopefully, like, I'm going to get the use out of them, because this would take me ages in Canva to do, figuring out the colour schemes and stuff like that, but I just really liked it, and I thought it'd be a really nice gift for my granddaughter to do her a little tumbler that she can then put her drinks in, because these keep the drinks hot and they keep them cold. So the first thing I'm going to do is just pop that upside down, and also make sure I put my design upside down, and I want to get my tape dispenser ready. This tape dispenser is definitely worth the money. I did pay like £17 from Ink Experts from it, but I have got one coming from Temu, which has ended up being somewhere like £10, and if it's any good, I will link it down below. If not, I will just keep the link for the Ink Experts one, but they looked more or less the same, so I'm just hoping it is just as good, because I didn't really like the pink. I'm not a pink person, I'm more of greens, blues, so that was why I did that. Anyway, the video's not about tape dispenser, so I'm just going to wrap this around, and I'm doing it upside down so that I know the picture's at the top. I'm not that fussed if there's actually a gap here at the top, which I already know there is. I should have done this template a few millimeters more, but I didn't. I guess I was being a little bit overcautious, but at least the print will be right at the top. So now I know, like, I basically got that to the tip. I'm going to take this little device that I got, I think from Shein, and I'm just going to place that on there, just so that it can give me a bit of a helping hand whilst I try to get this matched up, because this has actually got a matching seam, so it should be seam free. So, but let's see, because I've never actually done one of these before. So basically I need to get that really tight. And then take a piece of tape, and then I'm going to put that on, and then I'm going to pull that tight. And then I'm going to keep doing that until it's all completely and utterly tape down the seam. And I'll just fast forward this, so because you don't need to see it, but this, I want you to see how I actually do my tumblers. Once I've taped down here, I normally have my little Cricut scraper or whatever, but for some reason I cannot find it. So I'm just going to take my tweezers and I'm just going to burnish down, like using the back of them, down the tape, down that seam. You can use your nails, of course, and obviously I have got the nails to do this, but I don't tend to use my nails because as a nail tech we tell you to use, don't use your nails as tools, because that's where a lot of damage comes to your natural nail. So I just want to run that over. It doesn't feel the same as when I use the scraper at all, and I wish I knew where it was. I've got several, but can you find it when you want to? You can't. So I'm just really going to rub that over, and then I also like to take one big strip across there as well. And as I do this, I want to pull that tight so that it's pulling tight on there, and I'm just going to push that in the inside and push that on the outside, and again going to burnish that. That feels a bit better, using the side of the tweezers rather than the edge. And then we want to tape all around the edges and all around the top, which I'm going to do the top first. And I just tend to like start where the yellow is already here. And then I'm pulling it tight as I'm wrapping it around, so that it keeps that then tight on the paper, and hopefully this will help prevent any ghosting or any white edges, and like really burnish that into that corner. Now you can see here I've got a bit of a gap here where the tape wasn't long enough, so I will put another piece of tape on there. All there needs to be a small piece. And again, I'm going to wrap that round and burnish it over. And really push that down into the tumbler. It does always want to lift up. And then I like to give it a good, like, a pressure on it and twist it round, and then twist it round on the edges like so. So hopefully that's give it a good burnish, and I would normally go over again, like say with my little Cricut tool, and then we're just going to do the same with the bottom. Burnish that in. Give it a good turning round, and hopefully that will prevent some white spots. Then you want to take your parchment or whatever. I just tend to use copier paper, and I then just wrap this over the tumbler itself. I've not had no issues using the copier paper. I don't know why people use the parchment, because when I bought the Cricut one it was just so expensive, and maybe somebody can tell me a reason why we don't use copier paper, but it's worked for me so far. And again, we're going to take this down and try and keep it tight. It doesn't have to be over taped like the actual pattern one, but it does need to keep it nice and as taut as you can. Again, I like to do that, and then I like to do another long piece. And again, I just burnish that in. Now, a lot of people watching this is probably thinking that is proper overkill with the tape, but my experience from doing the ones I did from Shein, I would much rather waste tape than a tumbler, because the tumblers are a lot more expensive. I'd rather waste tape and not actually have the issues of this ghosting. It still may do, it's always pot luck. I'm sure there's people who do this day in day out that have probably had the same kind of issues as I have anyway, and will continue to, because that's just life. You're never going to get everything perfect each and every time. Luckily for me, mine is just a hobby, it isn't a business, so if this doesn't come out 100%, I know my granddaughter will still love it anyway. So right, so now next thing I need to do is go and get the tumbler press. Just going to turn the tumbler press on, hopefully you can see here, and I will need to change my temperature to 180, and I want to change the times to 120 seconds. And this is still flashing red. I don't know if the camera's picking this up or not, but once this turns green we can then put this in, and it's not meant to be having to turn it around or whatever. So, and with this being slightly skinnier than the previous one, I'm guessing I'm still going to have the same, that it probably won't, because it's going to be that little bit more closer, but I'll try and do like a little video while it's doing and pop it in, using my phone and pop it in, show you like the gap is very minimal. So we'll try not to, we're not going to rotate it, that's what I'm trying to say. Right, so that's bleed to say we're ready. So we have got this as a point of reference, so I'm going to put this facing downwards so I know that that's where my seam is, and I'm just going to pop that in and try and get it as central as I can, and then we just press that and then it closes up. Right, so now it's closed. Like I've just took a sneak peek, and it is literally a couple of millimeters just not touching, but it is actually got a slight gap with these tumblers, so I'm hoping that isn't going to be an issue. If it is, I'm not too sure how I can get around that right today. I have got some silicone sleeves coming, so hopefully that will help. It's not moving though, so that's a good sign, I guess. I'm just hoping that that gap, so I may just rotate it a little bit for another like 20 seconds or so, just in case it's not had enough pressure on that top bit. So just going to get my glove ready because it's about to bleep. Because I knew that line was at the bottom, I'm now going to have that line at the top, and I'm just going to give that another 30 or 40 seconds. Let it close. And I'm still within my time frame, because it actually says in the booklet 120 to 240 seconds. So this 120 was at the bare minimum anyway, so fingers crossed we're going to get a good result. I'm just going to pop my other glove on. This is important that you do actually have these kind of gloves because these are very hot, and because the metal as well, they are hot, but the mugs are just as hot, and the mugs actually take a lot longer to cool down with it being a ceramic. Right, so that's had another 40 seconds. I'll take this out, and what I want to do is, because I know a lot of people have been having like the whiteness at the edges, I'm just going to give this a little bit more just on the edges, and I'm just going to count to like for another 10-15 seconds, and then we're going to do the same this end as well. I don't know if this works or not, but we're giving it a try, and this is why these gloves definitely are a must, because this is red hot. Don't know I'm getting any 3rd-degree burns. So just going to leave that settling for a little while, just about 20-30 seconds or so, and then we'll have a sneak peek at it. So that's had a good 30 seconds settling down. I'm just going to take this copy of paper off first, and if you are using your metal tool, you do want to be very careful when you're moving the tape, because you can scratch the tumbler. This tape, it just gets everywhere, all over my house. I just keep seeing this yellow tape. And that's the thing, actually, you cannot use just normal sellotape. It is important to use the heat-proof tape. So this sublimation has come through on this paper, so that's a good sign, I think. It's easy to get this off. Now I just want to take a little bit of a sneak peek here, so not to disturb it too much if it hasn't sublimated, and I can see it has there, so I can continue. So I'm so super excited to see this one, because this will be my first success if it's as good as that little sneak peek is. This is cooled down loads, so I don't actually need the gloves anymore, which will make my life a lot easier remove the tape. That's the thing with the metal, it does heat up very hot, but it also cools down loads quicker. Right, finally I think we've got all the tape off, and now we can do the reveal, and that is just absolutely fantastic. I absolutely love it. I'm trying to see now where that seam was. So the seam is here, and I don't think I've done that bad considering I've not ever done a seam free one before, so that isn't that bad off. It is, but you have to really look close at it, and I'm sure my granddaughter will be absolutely made up with that. I know I am. I am really pleased. I cannot believe, like, these was cheaper than Shein. They come within 3 days, 2-3 days of me ordering. You also got the little silicone base with it as well, and the metal straw, which you didn't get from Shein. Absolutely made up. Well, unfortunately my battery died on my camera, so I don't quite know where I got up to. I'm hoping I filmed like where the we've done the reveal and everything, but I would just like to say how impressed I am with this tumbler. I was really like at the end of my tether with the ones from Shein, the fact that I was like, what am I doing wrong? Like, I've like time and time again wasting time, wasting products, wasting money, and then to get the results first time on this just shows it wasn't the machine, and it definitely wasn't user error, because I've used the exact same programs I'd used on the Shein one. And just to like clarify, I'll put that side by side, like how like faded this is compared to this one. Yes, it has got a faded background, but you can see by the black hearts that it is black as black, and there's no, this one was such a vibrant picture and it's just been a waste really. I mean, I still use this, I can still use the canister as well, so it's not no biggie like that, but it's just a shame that it isn't as vibrant as that I was hoping it would be. After further inspection on going through these, so I'll start at this heart, and just going around, there is ever so slight like kind of like whispers of ghosting. Now this could be part of the design, which I don't think it is, because it is literally on the edge. So there's that little bit there, and maybe a tiny bit here, but nothing like major. And then where the seam was, I don't think I've done too bad on the seam, to be fair, because like this is the first one where I've got it where the seam is meant to meet. It is ever so like slightly off, but from a distance, can you tell? No, you can't, not really. And there is some slight ghosting as well where that seam is, so there's some here and some here mainly, but overall that's absolutely, I'd be more than happy if somebody had made me something like this with photos of my kids and stuff. So yes, definitely impressed with that, with the lid. And then like I say, also I put the base on here as well, so it's much more quieter. Overall definitely better. Like I said, this is slightly skinnier, slightly taller, this is slightly fatter, but it's no use no on. I mean, it's not worth paying the money for, so avoid Shein like the plague. I will put the links in for this, and as well if you want to go and check out the haul from everything else I bought for the sublimation, then please feel free to go and check that out. All links will be in description, and I can't wait to do some more sublimating videos with the other products I bought from them. I'm super excited to get started. Anyway, without further ado, I'm going to say goodbye, but I'd like to say a huge thank you for watching, and I'd love it if you would please comment, subscribe, give me thumbs up, and I shall catch you in the next video hopefully. Bye!